distribution in the insurance sector and ecosystem has become a huge topic. But what do I say has become? I mean, honestly, distributing insurance contracts and insurance has always been a hot topic. This is the core relationship between the client and the insurance company and the insurance carrier, which is where it all hinges. Why does it all hinge there? Because no one gets up in the morning and goes and buy an insurance contract unless there is a motivation next to it. It could be a flat, it could be a car, but this is not the main objective. Is not the insurance. And understanding and selecting an insurance contract is very challenging. So the distribution is where that happens, and from the insurance and company point of view, finding client is very difficult. How do you find your client? How do you know that this person is going to buy a car if you don't have a relationship with the garage or a structure that's going to channel the information to you? So this distribution topic and this interface topic has always been there. And it seems that every year things are accelerating and it becomes a bigger topic. But based on my experience, every year is the same stories coming back. It's simply that the environment is changing, the complexity is changed, the law changed, the ability of client to select and access information changed. But the topic remains the core. So I have an enormous respect for insurance distribution. It requires knowing clients. It requires knowing the insurance context. It requires, if you're not an agent but an independent distributor, it requires knowing many insurance companies and their difference, their strong point, their weak points, and the ability to protect the interest of your client. If you're an agent, you protect your client as well. But it's about how do you approach your clients in a best possible way, not to give him a one single contract, but provide him the right services, the right information, and the ability for the client to feel protected, not in one field only, but on several fields, which matters to him and fits with his situation. So it's a very difficult job. What we see now is the people are not only distributing, client themselves, as opposed to what I said earlier. You don't get up in the morning to get insurance, but sometimes you need to get insurance, and what you do is you just go online, and you can find many sources of information, even people selling online or companies selling online, whether it's a human being or even simply an interface with an insurer or a broker selling sets of various level of coverage and contract. So there is a shift of power in distributing insurance contract, because the traditional way of having agent or working with insurance brokers has changed. You have vertical integration, so brokers willing to go as much as possible into the definition of the insurance contract. They define the contract for their own client. They just look for an insurance carrier. So the place of distributing insurance contract for an insurer there is much limited. It's B2B, and the client belongs to the broker who has the buying power and the number of clients sufficient to dictate the terms to insurer and to have the right level of contract according to their own decision making. There is a lot of entrant on the direct channel, and there's a lot of also brokers who are working with other source of information, of leads, whether it's a group of garages for car insurance, a new online portal that sell and rent flat for home and other type of insurance there. So the source of leads is increased dramatically, and the winner there is the broker or distributor or insurer who can access those in an optimal way, drive the ability, or it has the ability to define together with the distributor the right level of contract, and has the ability to multiply that. Although it sounds complex from the outside, but if you manage to optimize your process, industrial your process internally, and manage complexity, then you create simplicity for the client, you create simplicity for the distributor, you create simplicity for yourself. So where is the power shift of the distribution there is that insurer has to work much harder on the internal processes, on the value chain internally, and has less ability to master the various distribution channels. So the increasing number of distribution channel and business model reduces the ability of the insurer to master all of them. So there has to be a specialization to channels. There has to be also a specialization in driving and mastering the value chain, which of course, in terms of resources, leave a lot of room for those new entrant in this distribution sphere. The second element, of course, is that the winner in the distribution sphere, as I mentioned earlier, they have the ability to dictate terms, and that drives their willingness to compete, what I would say, upwards, and therefore take part of the ownership of the value chain of the insurance company. That could be some brokers who have their own administration, so that drives then the insurance company much backwards in the client sphere, and the client doesn't even know sometimes who the insurance company is. What they buy is the branded product that the broker is proposing and offering them and suggesting that they buy. And if they buy, they simply managed completely by the insurance broker or intermediary who's doing the administration, who's doing the branding, who's doing the full-fledged client services. And that's what insurance companies are competing with, and are usually also very successful, but allocating a lot of resources, is to find their way into making their client relationship and their space and the visibility with the client very well known by increasing the level of services. So here we don't talk only about what the contract looks like. We talk about how can an insurer can provide something on top of the transaction, which is the insurance contract, in terms of services to reduce the risk of the client, whether it's an individual client or corporate client, but also making sure that when there is a problem, that there is not only a financial transaction, but also a whole environment of additional small sometimes, big sometimes, element of services that will make sure that the client feels at home with the insurer. And that's where, in all that ecosystem of distributing insurance contracts, it's not only about distribution, it's about the service that is provided to the client, not in one precise moment of time, but throughout the lifetime of the contract. And of course, that's how clients stay or leave a distributor or an insurance company.